a very powerful and free tool which can protect your personal sensitive information, which is Presidio. So this is actually the Latin name for the meaning of the guard and protection. So in summary, it is open source, totally free and context-aware. The personal, the information, the protection and normalization SDK, okay, for both text and image. It provides some fast speed, the anonymization modules to actually to protect your private entities in text, such like credit card numbers, personal name, location, date time, ID card numbers, Bitcoin wallets, phone numbers, and so on. So here is some full list of all the supported PII private entities. For example, all these kind of general private entities has been supported. Also, it is supporting some country-specific private entities, such like the US bank number, SSN, and UK NHS number, Spain, Italy, and many more countries. Okay, so it has some like open source, the repo created, the originally by the Microsoft, but now it's already been open sourced. Okay. So the benefit of the Presidio is actually as I said, it's totally free, easy to use, and very powerful tool to preserve your privacy, for any enterprise level AI applications and service. So it has the open source MIT license, which means it do a lot for the commercial use. That is good. Also, it is fully extendable and customizable in like the private entity de-identification. So for your specific need in some specific business domain, for example, you can define your own private entities and recognizers, and so on. So it also has a multi-language support. So you can support in any language you want afterwards. Okay. So also it's supporting the data anonymizations in both structured and unstructured data. And also it has a bunch of like the predefined built-in recognizers. You can just use out of box. Also, you can build in your own additional recognizers to recognize some specific special private entities in the text. Also, it has other many options such like the connecting to the external detection modules and mechanisms and multi-usage options and so on. Also, it can support the identification the sensitive information from the image. Okay, so first of all, let's see like how to do it. First of all, you have to install all the dependencies. So you can use in the different methods like using pip, doc, station, or the source. So here we're just using the pip, the option here. For anonymization on the text, you need to install this kind of procedure analyzer module, and also the install like the normalizers modules. So for the installation on the MacBook, you have to install some like the dependency, which is for the object character detections. So that is called Terrorisk. Terrorisk is actually another open source Python for the image recognitions on the, like both handwriting and printed text on image. Okay. So also you need to install another one for image detections. So this is the Presidio's image redactor module. Okay, so first of all, let's actually to have some quick test. So as we know, for the identify and anonymize the personal sensitive information in text, there are actually two modules behind the scene for Presidio to do so. One is called the Presidio analyzer. The other called the Presidio anonymizer. So an analyzer is actually the Python-based service for identify the sensitive information in text. So during the analysis, it will running like the several recognizers, which is actually the taking care of like the recognizing one specific, the private entities. by using the different mechanisms, such like the regular expression, deny list, checksum, the context word, rule-based logic, the named entity recognition machine learning models, and many more. So it comes with a set of the built-in recognizers, and you can easily extend it. Also, the second part is the anonymizer. Anonymizer is actually the detect once the private information has been detected, it will be responsible to actually anonymize it using the different operators such like the redact, replace, hash, mask, or encrypt. So anonymizer has multiple options which can be used to anonymize the private entries in different ways. Also, it can be used, to de-anonymize an already anonymized entity. For example, if you encrypt some like the private entity, then later on you can restore it by decrypting it afterwards. So in the typical use case, we are first, using the anonymizer. So to detect where the personal information exists, then using the anonymizer to remove these private entities using the specific operators, okay, in 2 steps. So this is the overall architecture for the Presidios analyzer and the anonymizer, okay. Here is some quick end-to-end test samples. So you can see when actually we initialize the analyzer engine, so Presidio load all the available, the predefined recognizers, including the NLP engine used to detect entities and extract tokens, lemmas, and other linguistic features. Here, we actually loading all these kind of the packages. Then there's some sample text. Then using the analyzer to actually identify all these kind of the private entities, okay, such like the phone number, person, location, and so on. Then after you detect it, and you can anonymize it. Here, I just like explicitly to specify what is the private entities I want to identify. Actually, you can remove this line, and it still works because all these kind of like the private entities will be automatically recognized by the Presidio's analyzers built-in named entity recognition recognizers. Okay. So okay, now we actually to see all these kind of the person name, location, and phone number has been the anonymized. Okay. So and also show you the where is all these kind of private entities type, and so on. Okay, that's good. So here, so there's a bunch of like the very useful features associated with the Presidio's analyzer module for finding all these kind of sensitive personal information. Okay, so analyzers, the first useful feature is the so-called the decision process. This is very useful for the AI explainability. As we know, the AI models is notorious for their black box feature. Okay, so it cannot give you any like explanations why it come up with some decision or prediction. However, thanks to this kind of the decision process, embedded in the procedures framework, so it can give you a sort of like the transparency on how exactly the model come up with some like the prediction. For example, which recognizers detected the PII entity and what regular expression pattern was used, and also the mechanisms for interpretabilities and what context word improves the confidence score, and so on. So actually there's 2 options you can use in the decision process for AI transparency. Okay, one is called the you can just like to specify to return the decision process as part of the analyzer's outcome. Also, you can just like to log its decision process into a designated logger, okay, which allow you to investigate a specific API request. Okay, so here you can just like to enclose a unique correlation ID as part of the API response header with the following log format. Okay, let's take a look at some real samples. Here, I just like return the decision process as part of the analyzer's response. Okay, so in this case, you can see it can give us like the decision process information, like okay, this person name in the private entry has been detected by this species recognizer, and this is the confidence score, and they also give you some textual explanations. It is identified as a person by species named entity recognition module. Okay. Also, for the second private entry, that time is also detected by species recognizers and is actually identified again as that private information by the species NER module. Okay. Also, you can just like it is output as like a login information and give some unique correlation ID, anything you need. So that is going to be the unique tracing ID you can specify here. Okay. So you can see all the login information about the what recognizers, what private entities has been detected, has been recorded here. Okay, very useful. Then the second useful feature for the analyzer is that you can just like to support any language you want. Okay, so basically there are two main parts in Presidio which can handle the text and should be like the adapted if a new additional language need to be supported. One is the NLP engine, and the second is different customized, the recognizers. So why we need these two parts to be adapted for a new language? That is because, the behind the scene, the procedures using the NLP engine, okay? So for two main tasks. So actually, because the NLP engine contains the many NLP modules which perform like the named entity recognitions, tokenizations, lemmatizations, and many other NLP tasks. Okay, so for this kind of the reasons, the procedure just using the NLP engine for any named entity recognition based, the personal sensitive information private entity identification. Also, you can using the other, features, other NLP modules provided by the NLP engine to do the feature extraction for building any customized additional rule-based logic, such like the, take advantage of the tokens context word for improved detection. So Presidio actually comes by default with an open source module called this one. This one is actually the from the another species for the language English language support by default. So it can also be customized by also the using other NLP modules for either the same or different languages. Okay, so these modules can be either trained or downloaded directly from the existing NLP frameworks, such like the species, stanza, and the transformers. So species is actually some like the production level natural language processing framework with a lot of useful modules you can just using for your the natural language processing the task and project. Stanza is actually provided by the Stanford University. It's actually Stanford's NLP library. Transformers is provided by the Hugging Face, another open source community for the any like the deep learning based modules as well. So customizations can be done in two ways, either by code or by the configurations. So here is some reference document on how to do it. So basically, I summarize, they're just like simply 2 or 3 steps you can apply to actually enable any or your own language support. Okay, if it's not from English, you can also support in any languages. So in the first step, you need to download a specific language NLP module. Then in the second step, provide a configuration file for the customized NLP engine. And the third step, so if we also need to build some additional customized recognizers, you also have to actually to set up language specific recognizers, because all these kind of like the the recognizers actually are language dependent, either by their logic or by their context word. Okay, so there's two parts you need to actually to adapt it for the new language: NLP engine and customized recognizers. Okay, let's see some like the examples. Okay, here, for example, so on top of the English, I also want to support like the French and the Spanish. Okay, so just download like all these kind of required language NLP modules. Then, in the second step, you create a customized configurations containing the various NLP engine name and modules. Okay, here all these kind of French, Spanish, English, NLP engine module names has been supplied, and I'm also using the specific NLP engine. Okay, then you actually create some like a custom NLP engine based on the configurations. Okay, you create some like your NLP engine with both additional French, Spanish support. Okay, great. Then everything below is the same. You just like to create your analyzer instance, okay, object, and then you actually to specify the supported language for this analyzer with this kind of the NLP engine. Okay, then you do the inference. Here, the samples. So all these kind of the text in English, in French, in Spanish. So the code able to detect all the private entities in either of these three languages. Okay, same thing for any other language, you can do the same thing. Okay, so in the second example, so we're going to show you, on top of like the two steps, also we need to the third steps for any like the customized recognizers creation. So for example, if we are going to using some email recognizer to add some new customer recognizer to detect the personal email address information, okay, and in the multi languages, we are going to do this. So the step 1 and step 2 actually is exactly the same as above. Okay, so the step 1, you download all the required language NLP modules. Step 2, you create some customized configurations. Then in the step 3 here, because we are going to building our own customized additional recognizers, okay, so you're going to actually to do this. Okay, first of all, setting up the email recognizers in the different languages, and you specify different languages support. Okay, and all these kind of context words, you can see all these context words in the different languages you have to specify here, and then you actually to register all these kind of customer recognizers for your procedure analyzer. Okay, then your procedure analyzer will know, okay, all this I will going to using not only the built-in recognizer, but also I'm also going to using all these additional recognizers for detection of all the private entities. Okay, after you done that, everything is straightforward. You can see this is sample code, with some like email information together with other private entities. All this kind of information, the email address, person location has been detected. Okay, as well. Okay, so that is good. Okay, you can see the multi-language support is actually very the easy to implement with the Presidio. Okay, so now we're able to see like the AI explainability. We're able to support any languages for data anonymizations thanks to the Presidio. So let's see how possibly we can build in the different additional recognizers using the different mechanisms. So this is a very important and also very useful feature, thanks to this kind of the scalable framework and the provided by the Presidio. So first of all, as I said, the procedure can be easily extended to support the detection of the new and additional types of the personal sensitive information and private entities. How exactly to do that? Because behind the scenes, it organized is actually the self into some like a hierarchical structure of the Python objects and classes. So on the top, we can see some like the entity recognizer. This is some abstract class for the other recognizers. Also, the remote recognizer is an abstract class for calling the external detectors. Also, we have some abstract class called the local recognizer, which is actually implemented by all the actual like the recognizers running within the analyzers process. So such kind of the within the the local recognizer, you can see the one of the typical recognizers called the pattern recognizer. This is some class for supporting the like the deny list and the regular expression pattern based recognition mechanism. Okay, so let's see how possibly we can take advantage of all these kind of the customized the techniques. First of all, you load all the like the dependencies, all the modules. Okay, then for the first customization, the mechanism, it is called the deny list. Okay, so basically you can using the pattern recognizers to add the any deny list, blacklist based on the should enable such kind of like the private entity recognition mechanism. So for example, here I want to remove all the like the titles, right? I just give some like the deny list or the title list. Okay, so then I spin up my pattern recognizers and give any name for my customer recognizer and also the deny list specified. So then just use it. Okay, so also don't forget to add this kind of your new additional recognizers to your Presidio's analyzer. So in this way, it will be able to using this kind of customized recognize afterwards. So you can see, and all these kind of the title together with the person name has been detected as private entities. Okay. So this is the deny list based mechanism. Also, we can using the second customized mechanism, which is also based on the pattern recognizers, but this time we are going to using the regular expression. Okay, so let's see, like we want to actually to become extremely conservative and treat any digits as like a private information. Okay, here you can define such kind of like a regular expression, any digits. Okay, so then you just like define the recognizer with one or more patterns. Okay, so this kind of the patterns, regular expressions has been specified, define our the customized recognizer. Then you actually register this customized recognizer with the procedures analyzer. Okay, then you are using the analyzer. Analyzer will be able to using all the default and also this kind of new additional recognizer to detect all the digits as a private entity. You see here, give some sample text. All these kind of digits has been successfully detected as like the private entities. Okay, that's good. Also, we can using the third mechanism for customization, building our additional recognizer. This is rule-based logic. Okay, so and this is basically we are going to take advantage of like the species token attributes. Okay, or write our own logic to detect such entities. For example, here the on top of like the previous example, we want to take one step further. So we want to detect not only like the digital numbers, but also we want to detect the numbers in both numeric and the also the alphabetic format. Okay, like 24 and 24. Okay, so in this example, we have created some new class which implement this abstract class entity recognizer. So this is like the fundamental basic recognizer in Presidio. So in this way, you need to actually to implement the load method and the analyze method. Okay, then okay, here you see this kind of the definitions for logic method. So here this is actual code for detecting the numbers in both numeric and the alphabetic format. Also as a knowledge, so each like the procedures the recognizers accept a Python object or type NLP artifacts which hosts a pre-computed attribute on the input text. So we can take advantages, okay? So iterate over the specific tokens and call the token dot like underscore num that will detect any like the numbers, okay, from this kind of the p artifacts in the object, okay? So once we done that, we can just like to register our new additional recognizer with our procedures analyzer. Then we actually running our analyzer to detect any new private entities. Here you can see not only the standard private entities, but also any the numbers in words, integers has been detected. Okay, that's good. Okay, right. Also, you can using some remote recognizer and external personal information detection service. So that is also some documents for how doing this. Okay, you can take a look. Here I'm going to focus on the fifth customization technique, which is actually very useful actually in practice, which using the context words. Actually using the both like the combination of the both regular expression and the context words, you can actually show like many your specific domain private entity detection tasks. Let me to show you how to do this. Okay, so Presidio actually have an internal mechanism for leveraging the context words. This mechanism would increase the detection confidence level of a private entity in case a specific word, it's totally up to you to define whatever this kind of word it is for your specific domain. Okay, if like in case a specific word appears either before or after it. Okay, so this is some typical examples for like the US the zip code recognitions. So on above, for the multi-language support, we already show like some our email recognizer with the which actually the using this kind of context word. Here we are going to show some initial like the customized the zip code recognizer with regular expression only. Then we'll see like how can we possibly to improve its detection performance by adding the context word mechanism. Okay. In these samples, we are just purely using the regular expression. So you can see this is the regular expression pattern for the US zip code. So US zip code is actually the 5 digits. All 5 digits hyphen followed by another 4 digits. Okay, that is the pattern. So then we actually to create our pattern recognizer with this regular expression patterns. Then we register this customized recognizer with our procedures analyzer, and using our analyzers to actually to analyze this kind of given text. So in this way, you can see both this number and this number has been detected as the zip code. However, we know this is true. This is actually the false positive, okay, because this is just part of the phone number. And also you can see this is very low confidence score, the indicated by our recognizers is very low score. So let's see how possibly we can improve like the detection confidence, okay, using the context words. So here, not only using the regular expression, but also, when we specify our pattern recognizer, we also give some a list of like the context words, okay, all these kind of zip codes, the US zip code and so on. So then once you've done that, you rerun the same code. You can see now this kind of the zip code is actually has been successfully detected with a very high confidence level. Okay, and however, this kind of the part of the digits has actually with a very low confidence level. That is good. That means like this is most likely to be the true, and this is most likely to be the false positive. Okay, so you might be curious why this is 0.4. Okay, and this is due to like the default value for this system hyperparameters minimum score with context similarity is actually the 0.4. You can easily to change it, okay, by yourself. You can specify any values, and here I'm going to show like I can easily to self-define my any like the detection threshold to filter out only those with the high confidence scores. Okay, so for example, based on the previous code, I added my threshold. Okay, and then I using the threshold to actually to filter out all these with low confidence levels. So now you can see I can detect the only like the true zip code, okay, with a high confidence scores. Also, I'm also changing like this kind of default value from 0.4 to 0.65, okay. So yeah, that is actually the show like the how easy we can using the the both the regular expression and the context words to actually to enable the detection any domain specific private entities. Okay, that is a very powerful technique. Yeah, you can just reuse this kind of the repeatable patterns again and again. Okay. Also, the another one, whitelist. So first, sometimes in the opposite to deny list, we can add a whitelist of word for the predefined the entity recognized and all building recognized, including the URL recognized to keep. Okay. So for example, here, the if I don't define the whitelist, okay, so you can see all these kind of like the Bing.com, all these kind of the Microsoft.com, all this kind of URL link has been detected as like the URL, okay. So then if we define the allow list here, okay, and then you can see the all these kind of URL link will be ignored, as like a private entity. So you can keep it in your text if you don't want to anonymize it. So that is also another good technique to use. Okay. Okay, after introducing the very powerful features of the procedures analyzer, and it's actually the straightforward to actually to use the procedures second model, anonymizers, okay, to actually for anonymize any sensitive information from the text detected. Okay, so it is also another Python module. Okay, so it supports both anonymization and the de-anonymization by applying the different operations. Okay, so anonymizers actually are used to replace a personal information entity. So with some other values by applying a certain operator, such like replace, hash, mask, remove, redact, encrypt, customize, or keep. So on the opposite way, so the de-anonymizers also are used to revert the anonymization operations, such like the decrypt or encrypt text. So operators are built-in text manipulations classes, which can be easily extended as well. Okay. So for example, here, so we are going to the encrypt a text containing the personal name. Then later we also like to actually to de-anonymize it by actually to decrypt it as well. Okay, so here you see this is the text. So we want to actually to anonymize. So here the operators I specify for the anonymization is the encrypt. Okay, and also you can splice any like the encryption keys. Okay, yeah. So after done that, you can see this kind of the text has been anonymized. The person name has been encrypted. Okay, just imagine after done that later you want to restore the personal name. Okay, so you can do this. You can just decrypt it. Same thing, same encryption keys, and the operator is decrypt. So here you can see and the original the text with the personal name has been successfully detected. That is nice. Okay. Okay, cool. Right. Okay. Let's actually to also try the different the options of the anonymization operators. For example, so besides the encryption, you can also like do the replace, redact, hash. Okay. Mask. Okay, for mask you have to specify the masking characters and how many characters to mask, these kind of hyperparameters. Okay, and just like a fine-tuning all these kind of hyperparameters for a specific domain use case. Here you can see for the original text. Okay, my name is Robert, living in Boston. So the it has been replaced with some placeholder, or it has been removed, redacted, or it has been hashed, it has been masked, or you can just keep it as well. Okay, very powerful. Okay, after introducing the anonymizing the personal sensitive information from the text, another powerful feature not provided by the Presidio, that is, you can also anonymize the PII in images. So the Presidio's image redactors is a Python-based module for detection and redacting the personal sensitive information in images. Okay, so this module is also can be used on the standard, the common image formats. Also can be used on the medical DCOM images. Okay, so here this is the system modules and architectures for detecting the sensitive information from images and remove it. So okay, you can take a look. So basically, if you actually install all these things on the Windows, the OS system, so you can just to follow this kind of the debugging troubleshooting to actually to fix the issues which is have the dependency on the tesseract the packages. Okay, let's have some running some code. Here you can see I just import the image class from the PII package to display the images, and then I just calling the Presidio's image redact engines. Okay, then you actually to running this engine to infer and remove the sensitive information. Okay, so and then you can save the the redacted images to some local files for the let use afterwards. Okay, this is some a credit card dummy samples I download from internet. Okay, so you can see this contains a sensitive information like a person name, credit card numbers, date time. Okay, expiry date. Then after running this, you can see all this kind of information has been removed. Okay, hide it. Okay, that's nice. Also, I'm running another second examples, but using different the sample images. This one you can see. So here you see only the expiry date has been anonymized, but not the credit card number and name. So that is some the drawback I observed, right? So the Presidio's image redactor is just a newly developed. It's still in the beta version and not yet production ready. So and actually according to my experiment, the detection result is really depends on the image resolution and the quality. And if you see it's some small and the image with some low resolutions, maybe it's the the more difficult for the procedures to detect. Okay, finally concurrence. So as we see, the Presidios is a totally free, open source, very powerful tools and framework SDK for any privacy, the information protection and anonymization. It's fully extendable and scalable for recognizing any new additional private entities in the future. Okay, so for the quick testing purpose, you can just use it out of box directly to actually to detect the most common private entities. So thanks to its a bunch of the predefined built-in recognizers for speed to value. However, for the commercial use case, right, due to its automatic detection mechanism, there is no guarantee the procedure will find all the sensitive information in the text. Therefore, the additional actual protection mechanism and measures you must have applied, such like the human in the loop check, or build your own customized recognizers as I demonstrated here, or even using some more advanced machine learning models. Okay, in this way you can possibly to achieve the full anonymizations of all the sensitive information for your domain specific data. Okay, so just trust me. So if we just going using the procedure out of box, maybe it can detect 80% of your personal sensitive information in your domain data. However, you need to do the hard work to actually to remove the remaining 20%, 10% of the sensitive information by defining your own custom additional recognizers. That is a good practice I would recommend. Also consider testing each recognizer on a representative dataset in your domain before integrating it into the Presidio. Okay, that is also the make sure it actually can detect all this kind of the information in your domain. Also, for the reproducible research purpose, this is also the best to actually to document how your recognizer's accuracy was tested and on which test dataset and so on. Also, there's some documentations on evaluation and analyzer, the recognizers. Okay, so you can refer to this kind of reference. Okay, thank you everybody to actually to take a look at this kind of the interesting tools for protecting our privacy and the sensitive information. So don't forget to register to this kind of the channel, and I will bring more the new insights and analysis and the new modules and the new AI abilities. Thank you everybody. Talk soon next time.